This woman was once a queen for just 9 days. This is Lady Jane Grey, shown here at her execution. But why was her reign cut so short, and why did her life meet the same tragic fate? Let's unravel her story. In 1547, King Henry the VIll died, and the next day his only legitimate son, the 9-year-old Prince Edward, was crowned King Edward VI. But when Edward fell fatally ill in 1552, his closest advisor, John Dudley, saw an opportunity. In a scheme to retain his power, Dudley persuaded Edward to bypass his half-sisters, Mary and Elizabeth, in the line of succession, and instead name his cousin Jane as heir to the throne. In the week preceding his death, Edward did so in a handwritten document entitled Devise for the Succession. Why would this change benefit Dudley? Two main reasons. First, both Dudley and Edward were devout Protestants. On the other hand, Edward's half-sister Mary, who was supposed to be next in line, was a Catholic. Second, Dudley had recently arranged a marriage between his own son, Lord Guildford Dudley, and Jane, meaning he could establish his own family's name within the dynasty if Jane were crowned queen. When Edward died in 1553, at just 15, Jane was summoned to Sion House, and there informed she would become queen. The news came as a shock to Jane. She showed great reluctance at the idea, which embarrassed the Privy Council as they were already kneeling. Despite her initial objection, she was proclaimed queen on July 10, 1553, but many of the people still saw Mary as the rightful heir to the throne, and after just 9 days, everyone had turned against Jane, including the Privy Council, which had shifted allegiance after realizing Mary's reign was inevitable. When Jane was informed she was being deposed, she responded, "May I go home?" But Jane would never see home again. She was imprisoned in the Tower of London, and despite Queen Mary's initial reluctance to sentence her teenage cousin to death, Jane was privately executed within the Tower grounds on February 12, 1554. It is said she at first maintained her composure, calmly removing her gown and jewels, and asking the executioner to dispatch her quickly. But once the blindfold was tied, Jane panicked, unable to find the block. "What shall I do? Where is it?" she cried. Someone stepped up to guide her hands, and moments later, the axe fell, ending the life of the 9 days queen. If you enjoy history told like a stroll through a museum, check out my YouTube channel.